Hey Puzzle Buddies, it's Bree, and welcome to a spooktacular puzzle with me. So this is a puzzle that I got off of Walmart.com, or like the Walmart app. There's like no branding on it. It just showed up to me in like a plastic mailer with like my address, my name, and like maybe return address, but no company information. Listen, I don't know. But it came with a picture thing. Like the picture, like if you get a photo printed and you touch it, it's like sticky. It had that, and then it just had the pieces in this little bag. No other information. That's all they gave me. So I'm just going to pack it back up, and we are speed puzzling this one. Well, if we can call it that. We'll get into it. But look, I also bought a timer, so now I can be all official, and I won't keep using my phone and keep messing that up, although I do end up messing this up. Girl, what? I do end up messing this up as well. Okay. Struggling a bit, but we will get through this. So I started with a full flip. Honestly, nothing like too much to comment on this part. Just flipped everything over. Growing up, we never celebrated Halloween, so I don't have any particular like, there's no like IP that I'm really fond of when it comes to Halloween or anything like that. I never went like trick-or-treating or anything, but something that my husband and I do now is we watch a lot of like Five Nights At Freddy's gameplays. So I figured this is something that's, spooky enough that we can get into on the channel. I started off by pulling out the words, and those are pretty easy to put together, not too hard. I will also say this, my brain was functioning at like 20% this day. I was not feeling good at all, and I'm still not feeling great, but I had to film because if I didn't film that day, I wouldn't have had like the time to. So I pushed through anyways. Whether or not that was a good idea as far as making a decent video, I don't know, but it was either a kind of iffy video or no video at all, because honestly, it just wasn't going to happen. But I'm trying to be consistent and keep on posting, so this is what we got. As far as the channel goes, we're up to 250 subscribers, which so grateful for every single one of you, especially those of you who take the time to comment on my videos, whether you're just kind of like leaving your thoughts or if you're answering a question to something that I asked in the video. I really appreciate it, and I'm so glad each and every one of you are here. So I got most of the words done at the bottom, and then I kind of worked on, okay, I saw this movie. I cannot tell you that little girl's name. What was that little girl's name? It's, what was the man's name? It's Josh Hutcherson's sister, right? Because he had to take care of the little sister. I don't know this girl's name, but I worked on her because her shirt was pink, so it was easy to pull out, and then like her face pieces were pretty easy. And then I worked on Chica and Foxy and little bits of Bonnie as I found them. And then going across the puzzle, which I'm realizing you can't quite see the whole picture, the whole reference picture in the frame, but there is like this green and yellow line, like almost like a border around the characters. So I was trying to put those pieces together, and then kind of going back and forth between those green lines and then the characters as much as I could. And then, yeah, like I kind of alluded to earlier, I got this new timer and I needed to take a break because I just need to take a break for a minute. So I went to pause the timer, and I was just kind of like letting it sit there while I kind of got my life together. What I didn't know is that it turns itself off after so many minutes. And with it turning itself off, it resets itself. So I do know what time it stopped at. So I will add that to my final time at the end, but that was annoying. And then also in here, my doctor's office called. When I say this video, there was just a lot going on. My doctor's office called. Like, I had to take this call because I had to make an appointment. But then I didn't want to risk stopping the timer again and it getting messed up and then messing up the footage, because then I have to pause the camera again, and then sometimes the camera turns itself off. It was just a mess. Eventually I did pause it for like a split second so I could do something, but then it came right back because I did not want to risk this messing up again. Okay, so moving on, we've got like most of the characters pretty much done. We've got pretty much all of Chica. We've got the cupcake, at least most of the cupcake. We've got the little girl. We've got Josh Hutcherson. We've got most of Bonnie. And we've got some of Foxy. And I've got like the kind of like pretty much just the eyes of Freddy. And I went ahead and turned it sideways because I was having a hard time seeing the pieces, just because there is so much darkness. Like all the pieces left, look at them. They all kind of look the same. They're either dark or yellow or red. So I turned the puzzle so I could have everything a bit closer to me. So like I was mentioning, this wasn't exactly my best puzzling that I've ever done. Definitely could have, should have gone faster, but again, my brain was doing the best it could. And then also, what I realized after the fact is that one, which I should have seen earlier, but a lot of this puzzle is very dark, which of course I don't do very well with. Most people don't do very well with, but especially myself when it comes to trying to work quickly. And then also, as you can probably see, all these pieces are only 2 ins, 2 outs. There is no other piece shape. So that also makes things a lot more difficult because essentially every piece can go everywhere. With these pieces, there was some slight differences in the curve of the pieces as far as where the ins and outs were. But overall, they're all the same. They could all kind of go in any spot. So that was also really not helping anything. And then down here towards the end is where I was really getting frustrated. These last couple of pieces, they all fit together, but then when I tried to put the last piece in, the last piece wouldn't fit. So I have to kind of rearrange these whole borders on either side, and finally I just gave up. I just said, however this looks is how it looks, and I just have to accept that. So this is what the puzzle looks like from the front, with how I have it when I first initially finished. And then once I flipped it over, thankfully on the back, there is a letter grid, so you can kind of tell what the pieces are doing. And as you can see, I have some messed up. So there's a B on the left where the D should be. There's a D on the right where the B should be. So I ended up flipping those pieces because it turns out I'm almost certain those are the 2 pieces that I was struggling with at the end. Although if you looked at it from the front, it looked like it was correct the way I had it. Also, I had this piece in the A's that was flipped upside down. From the front, the purple and the green, it didn't look off, but I did flip it and, put it back in. And then I thought, okay, I think this is all done. But honestly, now that I'm looking at it again, child, these pieces still ain't right. Look at those B's. Do y'all see that? Those B's are still in the wrong spot. None of those letters are correct. And then, did y'all notice there's also a part on the border that wasn't right either? But honestly, I just couldn't be bothered. I just could not be bothered. Even if I fixed it. Look, the puzzle looks the same, whether I fixed it or I didn't fix it. So I just left it alone. I ended up spending about 95 minutes, so an hour and 35 minutes. Real slow for a 300-piece puzzle, but I'm hoping y'all can cut me some slack on this one, because it just was not my best work. This is a bit of a closer shot of what the puzzle looked like when I got it. This is the box. There's no brand on it. The plastic was cracked. There's no brand. There's no dimensions. There's no other information. This is just what they gave me. This is what the pieces look like. They're not particularly thick, but they are pretty strong. Those some strong pieces. Should I have just scrapped this video and just accepted the L and not had a video this week? Or is this one okay? Y'all let me know. I hope y'all enjoy the holiday if you celebrate. And I'll see you in the next one.